I am completely mystified as to why no audio was getting through. Yeah, I tell you what, Ewan, I'm not sure if it's something at the viewer's end potentially, so let's just crack on like they can hear us, because all my audio is saying they definitely can. Yeah, that's weird.
Just trying to, I'll just test myself, see if I can hear myself, because I'm listening as well.
All right, okay.
Oh no, I can hear myself now. So, so I think the audio is fine, and I can hear the game and everything. So yeah, I think the audio is fine now. Yeah, apologies for that, but it's all fixed now, and yeah, we've at least been able to see the pictures of this start so far. David Webb getting off to a good start from this pole position. Max Forgione actually launching very well from 4th place as well on the 2nd row. A couple of guys moving on backwards, and a big crash in the TCR class, as you will have seen just a moment ago. Lucas Blake, Zach Vlitstra, Terry Visser all involved, and actually Lucas Blake's getting a further penalty at the moment and is therefore towed back to pit lane right now. Might well be out of the race as a result of that, but yeah, that's lap 3 of this race. Still early here at Road America tonight, and well, I don't say for the first time in weeks, because that would maybe be slightly inaccurate, but certainly David Webb being put under a lot of pressure so far in this race, which is yeah, not we don't see that every week, certainly.
Yeah, it's certainly a fairly new occurrence. Let me just see. Yeah, no, that keeps kicking me out. Excellent. Like, that's not working either. But yeah, no, Webb, he's being held on to server error 400. Yeah, so for some reason we're not getting the paint jobs, unfortunately. I'm getting him. Oh no, here we go. So just getting a repeated server error. Now we've got grey cars.
Oh no.
Sometimes the solution is worse than the problem.
That's very good. Yeah. Oh, there we go. It's, some of them are popping back into place.
Oh, hey, some of them are popping back into place. I do love it when OBS, SDK and iRacing all do an update on the same morning. It doesn't fill me with dread before the broadcast. Absolutely, definitely not. Here we go. Wow, we are up and running. Jeremy Newton's about to put a move on Darren Justice in the Lamborghini, goes round the outside. Oh, and he manages to make that one stick just about the Mercedes. He's going to come straight back up, and they're catching up already to some TCRs that have just made their way out of the pit box. That's Terry Visser, who's just ahead. I'm talking about PTSD for Visser at this stage. He's had to come out with the pits going. And he's right in the middle of the top 10 in the GT3s, the poor lad. That's not the start he would have been hoping for.
Well, Visser's at the back of the field, and the last of those who is recovering from that incident, because he received a stop-go penalty for that three-way collision. Lucas Blake's got that penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he's decided that enough's enough tonight already, and so he is back to pit lane and well out the race completely. Stops already happening here as well. We've already seen Joe De La Rosa in from the GT3. We've seen Nicholas Heath in as well. Nicholas Crawford, John Bates and Dale Horn are all in on this lap as well. So yeah, it's busy down on pit lane early in this race, but it's a little bit like last week in that there's not many laps here tonight. Now, obviously all races in the TRL are about an hour, and this is going to be the same, but 25 laps does restrict you a little bit in terms of how many laps you've got to come in and fuel up to go to the end of the race. You can pit from lap 1 and make it to the end in this series, as we know, but you do have less options available to you, less laps available to you in terms of pitting. And we're already on lap 4 here, so plenty of GT3 stops happening already, and they're going to continue to come for the next 10 laps probably for the 14 drivers remaining in the front of this race in those GT3s. So yeah, busy down on pit lane already.
Yeah, the drivers coming in early. We have definitely seen that before. Again, as you mentioned, they have pretty much got carte blanche to come into the pit, so it's all about that all-important track position and how the driver feels the car's running itself. Get it in and get out there for a long stint. As I say, 25 minutes, 25 laps, or 20 or so laps out of the pits. Not exactly a Herculean stint, but certainly the tyres will get a bit of wear. So whoever does pit later will have a bit of an advantage. But Good track position throughout the race will certainly carry a fair bit of weight along with it. We've got Kyle Douglas chasing down Darren Justice, Greg Patrick chasing down Declan Lundson on his debut, running up in 4th place, so it's a good race for him so far. And down in the TCRs, we've got some Audi on Audi action. Now they've got the liveries working, thankfully. They've not gone high vis this week. It's Tilly v Carney. This one, oh no, it's for 4th place. I thought this was for 3rd in the TCRs, but it is 4th place that Tilly is trying to chase down for Carney. Of course, Tilly, maker of all things great with the intro videos, absolutely love them, and he's had a podium. Can he get himself another one today? He's got a bit of work to do. He's got to get past Carney and catch up to Robinson. Buhagiar having a good showing, as you would expect. It doesn't matter what he gets behind the wheel of. He runs well. He's currently running in 2nd. But at the moment, he's not really encroaching on Damien Coates' lead that he's got at the moment there. So he's maybe almost met his match here. 2.5 seconds is the gap between himself and Coates here, and he's not closing in on that any. So maybe Buhagiar is human after all.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure that gap is accurate. Can it be? I mean, that says 2 minutes, that gap there between Coates and Buhagiar. I suspect it's something more like 5 seconds based on the relative there. And the bottom right, so I don't think it's too. But I think you're right in that the gap's not changing. I don't think it's 2 minminutes. Oh, there you go. As it flips around now, something weird going on with when Nicholas Heath was between them, I think. But anyway, 2.5 seconds. There you go. Is the gap, but it is not changing. Buhagiar is not getting much closer as things stand. But it's going to be a proper race between these two. It's going to especially be a proper race for Damien Coates to stay away, because I mean we haven't seen this so much in this series, but Road America is one of those tracks where the TCRs can really stay together in the draft, and if it was going to happen at any point this season, then it would have happened last week at Le Mans with the huge long straights there. And even there, to be honest, the slipstream didn't seem to play a huge role, or at least it didn't keep the field really compact and close together in GT3 or TCR. And so I guess we'll accept that it's not going to happen like that in this series for the TCRs. But this is a circuit with long straights where the draft can make a big difference, and if Buhagiar can get in that, then he will find it much easier.
Indeed, well, yeah, that will be mission number 1. As you say, it wasn't the strongest effect they were seeing last week. There is a couple of straights here for them to take advantage of, and Buhagiar will certainly try his best to do so, but he really does need to get the foot down. Coates seems to be absolutely dialed into this one. Terry Vizzer down at the back of the field. He is closing in on Vliestra, but it's a long way for him to get back near the podium. The Tilly Carney battle might aid him somewhat in that. We shall see. David Webb, he's doing David Webb things once again. He's got that gap to over a second. Course looking absolutely pristine and precise as it makes his way through these laps. An incredible drive from him once again to get a second out in the lead. Forgione, he's got a good gap over Collins as well. Collins 3.5 seconds down. So he is Forgione carving out that 2nd place as well. The closest battle we've got Declan Lundson making his debut. He's been, and I tell you what, it looks like Patrick, sorry, it's Lund. Yes, it is Patrick. He's just kicked up some dirt there. Sorry, Lundson's kicked up some dirt, and Patrick is now closing in on him handily. So Lundson up in 4th place. Certainly not looking 100% secure there, but still, that is it's a decent debut start. We've seen the debutants do quite well here at TRL, of course, in the ovals. Tim Mulford won his race, and here Declan Lundson trending towards a podium. But Greg Patrick, he might well have something to say about that in his rather tasty looking car there.
He's just homing in through the final turn. They go now, and this is the closest battle by far inside the top 5, because David Webb is just getting a little bit further away from Forgione, as you said. Carl Douglas here is close to Down Justice, though, inside the top 10. In fact, this is for 7th place, and using that straight line speed in the Porsche, which it now has these days, races to the inside and goes through, it looks like, here on Down Justice again. There you go, late-ish on the brakes, and Carl Douglas through on the inside line. It is always a bit of a shame, I think, at this circuit that well, not that turn 1 is so fast, because it is quite an entertaining corner to drive, but it does mean that the longest straight does not provide an opportunity to overtake very often, and you've got to be properly alongside, as Carl Douglas was there, and then you've got to consolidate on all the way down here towards turn 5, because this downhill braking zone down here is the real overtaking spot, really, if you like, on this racetrack. Despite it coming off the back of not quite the longest straight, there it is, braking zone downhill, which always helps in terms of making a move, and that is where we're going to see perhaps a lot of the moves here today. But Carl Douglas making work at turn 1 as well.
And yeah, getting the job done, as you say, not the easiest place to get the overtake done, and if you do get it done, then you really do need to do some work along that straight to make sure you hold on to it. And you don't instantly give it back again. And Douglas getting that done. Jeremy Newton, he's closing up on this battle between Patrick and Lundsen. They're keeping themselves very close indeed. Newton is closing in on that one. Webb is maintaining a 1 second gap, and at the moment as well, for some reason when the GT3s are coming through the TCRs, it's messing up the tower. There is still only about 2.5 seconds between Coates and Buhagiar. Oh no, there it goes, down to a second in fact. It's massively down, so the telemetry is wholly wrong.
Well,
yeah, down to 7/10 of a second.
I think it was correct, but it's just because John Bates just passed Damien Coates there, and maybe slowed up Damien Coates just a little bit through turn 3, I'm not sure, but it didn't seem that his run onto this straight towards turn 5 was any good really, and now Buhagiar is in the draft, so this is going to be very important now for the remainder of this race. Lewis Buhagiar in the draft of Damien Coates is going to get a lot more joy now, actually catching up to the TCR leader than he did before. Well, he was, I suppose, catching slowly before, but now it's going to be supercharged because he has got that draft, and that is going to help on these long straights. But there is the constant worry of traffic. I think that's Dale Horn in the background there, who's about to overtake, and not too long after he comes past here, Dale Horn, then the leaders will be onto them for the very first time here, the TCR traffic.
Yeah, well indeed, and it's going to be a fun one yet. Dale Horn, oh, and he's just given him a tap on the rear there. Buhagiar's managed to hold on to it. I'll tell you what, that's yeah, an interesting one. In Horn pops his way through. He has separated this little battle, yeah, I'm sure. So that's Buhagiar now on the receiving end. Now that he's switched classes, less than 10 laps in, and he's been on the receiving end of a tap from a GT3, but he did survive. I tell you what, he did well to hold that, Ewan. That could have been a big impact to the wall there. Well,
he mentioned it there, but Lewis Buhagiar's learning what it's like to be one of these TCRs now. He's, in case you've not seen this series before, maybe he's been a GT3 driver and one at the very, very top, where you know they're especially quick and decisive through traffic. Well, Buhagiar's now feeling what it's like to have a battle interrupted slightly by that that phenomenon, that GT3 coming past at a place maybe you don't want it to happen. And oh, maybe it'll make him a better GT3 driver as well, having that knowledge of what it's like to be in the TCRs as well. But we'll have to speak to him about that. Here is the battle between Douglas and Darren Justice. Thought that Carl Douglas would actually get off and away actually after making that pass earlier, but that's not been the case here. Carl Douglas has been well, he's stayed close actually with Darren Justice here, even after the pass, but up over the top of the hill here they come. The Mercedes might well be in the slipstream. They're coming over the start finish line now, might well be in the slipstream. However, he's not going to get very close to Carl Douglas here, because that Porsche is still very, very strong in a straight line.
Yeah, it really is. It's been the absolute meta car this season. Doesn't matter which track we go to. That Porsche has done phenomenally well, and it really is very good in a straight line. It's good to see as well, because it used to be so terrible at top end. It was pretty embarrassing, but at the moment we can see it's holding off the mighty Mercedes absolutely no problem at all. Although now he's in this, even in the slipstream, the gap is closing ever so slightly, but by the time we get to the braking zone, you can see just how wide Justice takes the entry to the corner to open up as much of the exit as possible, and it makes very little difference whatsoever. Douglas just needs to be somewhere close to the driving line, and the Porsche is going to carry him on to victory. We've got, looks like Darren McMasters, who's had himself an incident. Himself and Adam Cool going very slowly. Let's jump on an Eskimo Tech replay of that. Let's get a full speed replay of that, no less.
See how this happens on the way down towards turn 5. Oh dear. Bit clumsy, yeah. That, I would suspect, might well... Oh, he's redressed, so maybe won't be a penalty for McMasters, but we saw it with that angle there. He just wasn't quite getting to the apex there, McMasters. When you're on the inside, when you're side by side with somebody like that, you do have to grab the apex there and not run out too wide, because that kind of thing will happen. But he does go a bit too deep. Here comes Lewis Bahadja meantime. Oh, a bit of contact maybe was there with the Audi of Damien Coates on the way towards turn 1. It's been a battle that's toed and froed again and again. Oh, and there's bigger contact this time. Bahadja goes up into the air as they make contact wheel to wheel, and Damien Coates skips off up the road. He maintains the lead. Surely one, if not both of them, is going to have damage after that. It's always wheel to wheel contact like that. You've got to worry for the suspension when that happens, and Lewis Bahadja, not least about the suspension, has lost 2 seconds in that battle as well.
He has indeed, yep. So we've had GT3 on TCR contact, TCR on TCR contact now. That could certainly affect, as you say, a bit of damage on the front of those cars. This is a long track to be carrying damage around. These long straights and the quick corners will certainly catch you out if you're carrying too much, if any damage at all. Jeremy Newton looking to make a move on Lunson. It looks like Collins has got his way past Lunson quite impressively. In fact, that gap now up to 2 seconds there, and it's Jeremy Newton that's going to send the Lamborghini instantly down the inside line. He takes the apex. Can he take the position or not? Lunson holds it, goes wider around the outside, manages to keep it between the Mayo and the Mustard, keeps it legal and keeps the position. But Newton, he is absolutely on a charge at the moment, and he is looking to get himself up that extra position.
Oh!
Tell you what, that's a big switch, and he really is keen to get this one done, isn't he?
Well, I feel like that most recent one was more of an accident than anything else. He was late on the brakes there, but he had to look like avoid Declan Lunson on the brakes. He managed that, but it didn't look comfortable. It didn't look planned. Well, I'll say down the hill there towards turn 8. But here comes the run towards Canada Corner, where there is a big overtaking opportunity for Jeremy Newton potentially. He looks around to the inside, whatever. Can't quite get it done there as they come through TCR traffic, as we mentioned, for the very first time. Not only the leaders there that they'll be dispatching off, but actually the guys at the back who are being lapped for a second time. And in response, actually, Damien Coates and Lewis Bahadja are both in. They saw David Webb and Max Forgione coming up on them and thought, we better go into the pit lane. And that might not be the worst idea, but it's given Forgione an opportunity to get past anyway. David Webb was really slowed up by those TCRs, and look at this battle for the lead now.
Here we go. This is something we have absolutely not seen this season. It's David Webb certainly challenged, at least this early in the race. Upside. TCR's making their way into the pits, and that has given us an absolutely tantalising battle up at the front. We know what Webb can do when he's out at the front. We've seen certainly what he can do in short defensive periods, but Forgione, we've also seen he can apply the pressure lap after lap after lap. So a new phenomenon here at the Tasman Racing League Hybrid Road Series, a battle for the lead of the race that isn't in the final couple of laps. Webb, I wonder though, I mean, if I was the driver, Ewan, I'd probably be enjoying this as if I was David Webb. I mean, he's been running off with it that often. He's now getting a bit of a challenge up at the front. He has actually fully become the hunted with Max Forgione, the hunter. He may well even be enjoying this, but it's very close between the two of them, and Webb is going to need to use every ounce of the driving talent we've seen on display this series to keep himself a hold of this top spot, because Forgione and the Lambo, he's doing everything he can to catch up and overtake here.
Yeah, indeed. This has really been created by the TCR traffic, but Forgione is able to stay there since that traffic has just interrupted these two as they now get on the brakes for Canada Corner. A little bit of grass kicked up there on the inside. Got to be careful of those off tracks, of course, over the course of the hour as they're approaching half distance already here. These first 11 laps been taken on at a frightening pace. Max Forgione last time round was only less than 3/10 of a second off the fastest lap of the race overall. So this is quite a pace they're going at the moment already. Over the start-finish line they go now. And David Webb will hold on to this lead fairly comfortably on the way towards turn 1. Declan Lundsen comes into pit lane meantime. Still waiting, by the way, for the top 10 in this race to come in. And, well, it'll be 8 now with Lundsen and Kyle Douglas actually in. But those top 8, of course, include these two who have yet to make their pit stop as well.
Indeed, yeah. Speaking of pit stops, Buhadjar's taken his pit stop and he's taken the lead of the race by 26 seconds.
Well, I'll tell you why, because 25 seconds of that was taken up with a longer pit stop from Damien Coates. 50-second pit stop there from Damien Coates.
Wow.
No idea what he was doing in that stop, but that's taken him ages.
That has, yeah, he was maybe using the 2012 Ferrari mechanics. I'm a Ferrari fan, I can say that. Yeah, he was maybe using some old school mechanics there, but whatever it is, they've thrown him under the bus and off the top step of the podium quite significantly there. He's still got a big gap back to third place, but certainly at the moment, the race win is looking like a hard task for anybody in the TCRs, given the pace that we've seen Buhadjar shown behind many cars, open wheels GT3s. And annoyingly, he can drive TCRs as well, as Terry Vizard, just getting himself involved there, and does manage to hold on to the position actually from Robinson.
Yeah,
These
gets
two
past.
absolutely going at it as well, Ewan.
Yep, gets past Robinson there. Does Terry Visser. Patrick Robinson went very wide through the kink there, coming towards Canada corner. So nicely done. Meantime, the leaders are coming through as well, and there is that battle just up in front of them. Again, David Webb slowing down through the final turn because of TCR traffic, and that's at least the second time that's happened so far. They're both in, so this might well be the limit now in terms of fueling, because the top 7 only are remaining, and all of them are coming in here. Drew Collins follows them in as well. It looks like this is the absolute limit for the GT3s to come in.
Going for the old 50-50, and look how close those two are. This is down. Sorry, folks, but we are going to watch the battle of the pit stops here. We've got Collins and Scully have come in. Jeremy Newton and Nicholas Heath are very close as well. They've got a battle on screen, but this is for the race lead. Whoever can get their tyres changed, whoever's quicker through the pits is going to come out. Forgione's missed his box. Oh, he's just had to reverse back, Ewan, and there we go. So now we know exactly what's happened there. Let's watch them in the pit box and see what happens. And Forgione, he's missed his box by, what was that, about 6 inches or so he rolled back there, and that's going to cost him, an annoying amount of time as he's concerned, because there is Webb already moving, and that gap has more than quadrupled. It's safe to say they were bumper to bumper on the way in, and Forgione comes out right in front of traffic there. That was very close indeed. That's Lundsen who is now behind him, and he's fully up to speed, and Lundsen is going to go lunging round the outside. Nope, he's going to get shown the inside. Not going to have enough pace for that. Forgione going full defensive. That's worked massively in David Webb's favour. Once again, I'll tell you what, he is definitely running the luck of the Irish at the moment. I mean, his luck is going to increase, because Lundsen is now more than keeping Forgione occupied by going past him out with the pit. So to say that pit stop has been caught, that pit stop mistake has been costly. He's run deep, he's run wide, he's going to pick up an off track for that. Ooh, talk about making compounding a mistake and making it worse. Forgione really is all at sea at the moment. And Lundsen and Collins all over his back bumper, and David Webb now 6 seconds up the road to you, and that is an incredible turnaround for what was effectively a miss of less than a foot. Incredible. An
incredible drama through the pit stops as well, as you say. Forgione overshooting his box by, a matter of inches, absolutely. And it took him, by the way, about 4 or 5 seconds to actually realise that he was too far forward. I guess most of the you just come to a stop and you just sort of look away and you're just waiting then the 20-odd seconds it takes to refuel. But as he was doing that, he wasn't actually being serviced. So it took him 4 or 5 seconds to realise, and there you see the 6-second gap that's been created out of that. Declan Lundsen's involved in this group, by the way, because his stop was only 14 seconds. Now, I don't think that's anywhere near enough fuel to get until the end of this race, sadly. I think it's probably, when did he pit? It was only a lap ahead of these guys, so lap 11. I think that fuel is only going to take him another 10 laps, I would say. Maybe 11 or 12 again. But whichever it is, that's not enough. He needs 14 laps of fuel here. And most of the other drivers have been sort of taking 20-ish second pit stops here, which I think says it all. When you're that much of an outlier and there's no tyres being taken, I think that's a big concern for Lundsen there. But maybe he's got it right.
Yeah, I mean, fingers crossed he's got it right, because if he does have to come into the pits again, it's going to deny us a continuation of this very, very close battle that we've got on screen. Drew Collins just having a bit of a fight with the curves here. He did manage to win that time, but yeah, if Lundsen has under-fueled this with a shorter stop, then he is going to be, he's going to tumble massively down the order. He's going to be behind Heath, Newton, Justice. The battle with Patrick and Douglas as well, down in 8th and 9th position. Really is going to rob him of that track position at the moment. He's putting up an absolutely solid fight. We've seen how quick Forgione is. He was hanging with David Webb for quite some time after Webb got slowed down. Look, there's another drive-through penalty. That's Brody Daff picking up a drive-through. A couple of penalties come in. Lucas Blake got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and Terry Vizard got a stop-go for the three-way collision. Oh, I tell you what, Lundsen has made a mistake there, and that is going to open up the door for Collins potentially to go up the inside. Not he closes the door on him. Both of them survive, and Forgione is going to be counting his blessings here, Ewan, that he's managed to stay ahead of these two on tyres that were running a bit warmer than him. Oh, sorry, Collins just out the pits, but certainly Lundsen running on much warmer tyres, and Forgione managing to fend them off and hold them behind him. But he does now have 6.5 seconds to make up to David Webb. And spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't watched the series so far, that is a big ask against David Webb this season.
Yeah, it's a huge ask. I mean, this is round number 8. He's won 5 rounds already. This would be number 6. That's a 75% win rate. That's not bad over the course of this season so far. That wasn't a very good run for Declan Lundsen at the final turn there. Just got the line wrong. Oh, and there you go. He gets a push from Drew Collins instead. And I wonder if Drew Collins is blinking or not. But anyway, he's reading the instructions at the moment on the rear wing of that McLaren from Declan Lundsen, and he's made the rather strange decision to push Declan Lundsen there. Maybe he thinks that Lundsen's got a better chance at overtaking Forgione than he has, and he might be able to benefit with a battle between the two in front of him. But he had such a run there. I was pretty surprised he went for the bump draft there.
I'm sort of 50-50 on that decision there. I mean, it does seem like a good idea. They're clearly not keeping up with Forgione as it is. So yeah, why not try and garner an extra bit of speed on the straights by Adam Culp in the pits with a drive-through. Goodness me, Road American track limits. They've gone full Oprah Winfrey here. Everyone's getting penalties. But yeah, certainly these two working together, potentially not a terrible idea, although Lundsen's run deep, and I tell you what, that's the decision made for Collins. He's going to have to get this overtake done sooner rather than later. It's a couple of mistakes by Lundsen, and that is going to overall cost them time to Forgione, which would be the complete opposite of what Collins was trying to do when he went for that bump draft. And that is, 1.9 seconds Forgione's now got, but he's still 6.3 behind Webb, so the gap to Webb has stayed the same, but it's increased behind him. So Forgione recovering from his mistake quite well at the moment. Lundsen, a couple of his mistakes costing him and Collins both a bit of time. Luis Buhagiar still absolutely flying out in front of the TCRs with Coates in second and Gliestra in third place. There is a bit of a battle going on down at the back of the TCRs, in fact, with Terry Vizard just in front of Patrick Robinson and Rob Tilley, and we've also got Greg Patrick still involved in some battles as well. He has got Darren Justice and Kyle Douglas just behind him, so a three-way battle going on there. I tell you what, we've seen Patrick's car quite a few times this broadcast. It's been involved in a few little battles, and this one is continuing onwards. John Bate trying to go down past Daniel McMasters as well. So it's all happening up and down the track. It's a picture of poison here at the moment, and I think this might be the one to watch. I will keep a weather eye though, Ewan, on Collins and Lundsen, because they're only separated by a couple of tenths. Let's see if the Mercedes can overturn something other than a Porsche in a straight line maybe.
Yeah, it might stand a better chance with McLaren in front rather than that Porsche of Carl Douglas, which is back behind Darren Justice again in this race. Here we go, out of turn number 3. Has he got the exit here required on this downhill run towards turn 5 and the braking zone just down here? Let's see. There'll be a gap on the left-hand side here, you'd imagine. If he wants a really narrow line, and Patrick was expecting that, so he just brought it to the middle of the road, made Justice decide. He could have chosen the inside or outside there, but he makes him decide, and Darren Justice in the end decides not to make the move. Lunson gets back past Collins for 3rd place, and side by side between John Bates and Daniel McMasters, by the way. John Bates in front of McMasters. Looked like Aston Culf and Stephen Scully were side by side for a brief moment as well, but they've got in single file into that order as well in this battle for the last spot inside the top 10 as well. So it's all happening here. A number of 2 driver groups, and here's the last of them. McMasters looking down the inside on John Bates. He'll be, oh, that's a little bit wide from Bates. He gets away with it. He'll be a little bit discouraged, McMasters, from actually making that move, because he tried that one early, if you remember, and missed the apex and made contact with Culf, I think it was. And yeah, that might just put him off making one of those big lunges at turn 5 like he did before.
Indeed, yeah, once bitten, twice shy, I think would be the analogy we would use there. He's going to see if potentially Bates ahead of him could make a couple of mistakes, and he can profit from that. But yeah, definitely don't want to get your fingers burned in the same corner again. And Bates doing well to hold on to that one. Justice and Patrick is another one that is looking pretty close, and in fact absolutely nose to tail. Once again, is Darren Justice on a big run. He's using all that slipstream down the hill. He goes across the start-finish line and into the braking zone. The Mercedes has got the outside line. Is he going to manage to hang on to this? He's just about snuck his nose in front, but he's going to be on the outside. Oh, and that is beautiful driving by both of them. And just the right amount of room left between them. Nothing between them at the moment. And Patrick retakes the position. Can Justice get the cut back on exit? He cannot, and this is a fascinating little battle here. Darren Justice looking the quicker of the two, but Patrick, he's got those defensive duties absolutely dialed in at the moment. And this one, I mean, we could see an overtake any second here, or it could go on for another 4 or 5 laps. The way these two are going. Oh, big send up the inside of turn 5. He's going to leave himself open to the cutback though. Textbook retake of the position, and yeah, I'm going to bet on this one going for quite a while, Ewan.
yeah, it looks like it. Once the stops have happened, and for a long, Greg Patrick made his a long time ago, actually, on lap number 7. Then it's a race to the finish with whoever's left and whoever's at whatever battle it is. And these two have found each other, and well, for the next 8 laps, they may well stay together for the rest of this race. We'll wait and see. But for the moment, through the carousel, Greg Patrick holds the place. It's Darren Justice just in behind. Patrick feeling the need to sort of move it over in the kink there through the right-hander before they then get towards Canada corner. But there's a TCR quite badly placed here for Darren Justice. He would have liked that out of the way a little bit earlier. He's going to be forced onto the outside as a result, and he's not going to be able to get anywhere. And there's a TCR in that position as well. 2 of them, in fact, just up in front here, side by side, almost towards the penultimate corner. He almost got an overlap there as Terry Visser and Rob Tilley are being overtaken now round the outside through the penultimate turn. Look at that, switching one side to the other. Greg Patrick, he gets away from Darren Justice, who goes off into the grass himself, and he's off through the final turn. He loses out to Kyle Douglas again as he tried to get through the TCR traffic. He gets it wrong, and that's a costly error there.
It is indeed, yeah, didn't quite get it right, although Kyle Douglas absolutely got it right there. He went one way, went the other, and he's made it through very impressively indeed as he comes past Robinson, Tilley and Visser in the TCRs. In fact, he's still got Tilley and Visser. Justice still got Tilley and Visser to get through. He does get past them now. No contact has been made. Very nicely done. Yeah, scary times for all concerned, but 18 laps in, and that is Kyle Douglas now got a 2.5 second gap from what was a very, very, very close race. And in fact, here comes his teammate Aston Kulf just coming through with Stephen Scully following him, completely unperturbed up at the front row once again. Ewan, David Webb, 5 wins so far this series from 7 races. He's about to make it 6 from 8, and absolutely undeniable as the top driver in the championship. He is just on another level at the moment. He is completely at one with that Porsche, and Yeah, a worthy winner and champion-elect, no doubts at all after the 6 wins from 8 races. He is just having a season to remember.
Yeah, I mean, for next week, we're going to have to start working out what he needs to seal the championship 1 week early. He's already 45 points ahead of Drew Collins and Lewis Bahadja, as we saw at the top of the show. That's not a huge gap, especially when you consider he's won so many races. Not a huge gap, and that doesn't mean that he'll be guaranteed a chance to actually seal it next week, but we'll wait and see. The thing about this week is that his closest rival, one of the close rivals, Lewis Bahadja, has actually gone to the TCRs, which is absolutely going to help him. Drew Collins is still up and around, and he is in the top 5 today, 4th place at the moment. Max Forgione, who's an outsider really from 4th place, just a few points further back again from Collins and Bahadja's tie. He's in 2nd place and actually has been closing on David Webb here. Came out 6.5 seconds behind, now 3.5 seconds behind. Now whether it's enough before the end of this race to get there in time is another discussion, but he is closing.
Yeah, he is indeed. He is closing that gap down as we keep an eye on Scully and Culf. Looking close. Culf, of course, caught up in some earlier incidents. Oh, and Rob Tilley looking for an overtake on Terry Vizzer. The hybrid on hybrid action in the TCR's going on as well. Vizzer, after that stop-go penalty for causing a 3-car collision, now finds himself trying to hang on to a position in the top 5. Tilley trying to wrestle it from him with Patrick Robinson. Not too far behind there either, so these three keeping it close, and Vizzer being kept very honest by Tilley at the moment. Tilley really is putting on the pressure. As I say, this is for what, 5th place? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, for 5th place. Having to get the abacus out there. That is how bad the eyesight is these days. And Tilley,
whoa!
Oh, that's not what he was looking for. He's run massively deep there, and that's instantly sorted that battle out there. And I thought that one was going to go for a while, but that's Tilley run deep. And Terry Vizzer looking very good indeed, and it says Tilley's just crashed and he's gone off course. But yeah, that looks like that's the last battle of the moment in the TCR's decided. So back up to the GT3s where Adam Kulf is half a second down on Stephen Scully, and they've got some TCRs there. Zach Liestra, the car they find in the middle of their battle, and navigated very nicely indeed. Yeah, it's good to see this week, Ewan, as well. The interaction between the TCRs and the GT3s has been, on the whole, pretty good. There's only been one slight incident, and yeah, you were correct as well, Ewan. Sorry, there we go. Let's go for another point there. You were absolutely correct. Lundsen, unfortunately, on debut, having a great race. He's not taking on enough fuel. That's him back in the pit. So, and yeah, pretty much bang on when you said he'd be in. So, with 5 laps left to go, Lundsen's had to come in. That is unfortunate for him, a bit of a miscalculation in the pits. Otherwise, a fairly flawless debut running up in the top 5 till that point.
Oh yeah, he did even few laps, and I thought he would actually only managed 8 there on that tank of fuel. Yeah, that's way short of what he actually required there. 6 more laps to go. Yeah, that was way short, unfortunately. But as you say, a good debut nevertheless, even if it's not actually even going to bring out a top 10. It looks like, unless there's some trouble up ahead. Stephen Scully versus Aston Kulf now are both inside the top 10, no longer fighting for a place in the top 10, but in fact for 9th place now. Here comes Aston Kulf on the way down the straight towards turn number 5 in the slipstream. Decent chance of opening up on the inside line here, potentially for Kulf as he has a look, brakes late, and through on the inside line for Aston Kulf. So that's nicely done into 9th place. Scully fighting back on the way up the hill towards turn 6, but Kulf stays ahead and now holds that newly found 9th place. Still lower than where he qualified, but a nice pass down the inside there.
Indeed, yeah, very nice move indeed. He is looking to recover places, as you say. Started in 7th, he's only back up to 9th place, but he is heading in the right direction. Scully will try and stay in the slipstream if he can, but Kulf does look like he's got a lot of pace on him at the moment. Darren Justice is the next car up the road to Kulf, and I'll tell you what, Kulf's charge further into the top 10 could be aided by the fact that Douglas and Justice just ahead are getting pretty close and might start holding one another up if they do go to battle. It's, oh, I'll tell you what, the Porsche of Douglas, I was going to say the Porsche of Douglas is going to be in the prime position from what we've seen, but he did run that a little bit wide there. So Justice just needs to keep on hitting his marks, and he could close in there and make that an interesting one. 21 laps done though, and it's still Webb, Forgione and Collins that are on that podium. And Jeremy Newton has to be said, big shout out to him. Started in 9th, he's up in the 5th place. So a great drive by him. But here we go again, the Mercedes. Wow, the Mercedes definitely looking the quicker of the two here, and that Porsche is really struggling now. Douglas, I don't know if he's having a problem with his tyres or what is going on, but it definitely looks like the Mercedes is the quicker of these two cars here, Ewan. And oh, I tell you what, Justice is all over the back of him now.
Yeah, I'm trying to regain that position in front of Carl Douglas again. He lost this when he went off through the final turn not that long ago. And Darren Justice here has got a chance to regain the place with the slipstream. The Mercedes able to at least get alongside the Porsche here, which is still strong in a straight line on the way towards turn 5. It's outside line braking for Darren Justice, and he's going to have to cut back here to the inside for turn 6 potentially. Can he get there? Not quite, and so he has to stick behind. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with these two in terms of who's faster and when, because it seems like Douglas was the faster of the two in the first part of this race and struggled to get past, and now the roles seem to be reversed after that small moment for Justice through the final corner. So not sure what is going on with the pace of these two, but Justice is the one with the pace at the moment and looking to get past.
He is indeed, yeah. It's been, it's definitely been a game of two halves, to use a World Cup analogy, for these two so far, with one prospering in the first half and one prospering certainly in the second half. Because Douglas at the moment, he is not looking quick at all. I'm not sure if it's a tyre thing or an equipment thing or maybe potentially a confidence thing, but certainly Justice, he is brimming with confidence at the moment, and he is brimming with pace as well when we reach into the braking zone. And on the exit of that one, I'll tell you what, that is close again. This is absolutely on a knife edge between these two. The Porsche has been the better car all season. Just on the whole, it has been a dominant manufacturer in this series, but that dominance here certainly is looking to be overturned by Justice in the Merc. Still one of the best sounding cars, no matter what Jared from Simple says. Yep, I got you, Jared. Yeah, still one of the Mercedes, still one of the best sounding cars there absolutely is, but not a sound that Douglas will be enjoying hearing, chasing him so much. Oh, we've had an incident as well. Joe Della Rosa has just binned his car and taken himself off track. We'll stay on with this battle just now. As I tell you what, that might be a mistake too far, and again, it's the power of the Porsche that is keeping Douglas safe here. He is really coming under pressure by the time they get into the corners. These corner exits are just slightly better, but certainly on the way in, Ewan is looking like all about Darren Justice as he once again goes for a move around the outside of turn 5.
Yeah, looking, and again going for the cutback. He's not considering really going around the outside properly. He's considering just going for a cutback and getting back ahead that way, but that's proved to be unsuccessful so far. So Justice continues to chase and maybe have another chance down here towards turn 8. That would have been a bit of a surprising place to manage it, but yeah, for Della Rosa, already down in 18th place now, crosses the line there, 2:16.7 that lap, so that's considerably slower than what you'd expect, and that must be the lap in which there was some trouble there. Here's Justice though through the carousel, was pretty close to making a move there actually through the carousel itself, but just had nowhere to go really. In the slipstream now, the Porsche going to be a sitting duck potentially on the way towards Canada Corner. Again, there's some traffic in a place where Darren Justice just doesn't want it, and he's looking there, but there you go, diving down the inside. Douglas able to justify that with the traffic, and that's Lewis Pahaja who's currently leading this race. That's more badly timed traffic for Darren Justice through the final sector.
Indeed, yeah, they just cannot get the timing of this one right at all, can they? The worst possible moments for TCRs to appear, and that is when they appear. And definitely keeping these two on their toes. Douglas, the Porsche, he's the first driver to make contact as well, so he pretty much decides how the interaction will go. Lewis Pahaja, of course, making himself as small as possible. As you can see, the pace difference of GT3 catching up, and again Douglas down into turn 1 looking to get it done, doesn't quite have the momentum. I'll tell you what, that corner exit though, and his mid-corner phase is absolutely supreme. Again, a little nosy down the inside, not got the pace. Oh, and that's maybe a bit of a mistake by Douglas. It's Justice finally going to get this position and make it stick. I was supposed to do force things once again. and hold on to this position, Ewan. They're absolutely side by side. Mercedes versus Porsche, Douglas versus Justice, and it might be Justice's time to come out on top here potentially.
He's not going to manage it again. Oh no, blinking through the middle of the turn's not ideal. Oh, and thankfully it didn't matter in the end. Justice still just about alongside as he towards turn 6. He can't do it. Well, this is proving to be a big source of frustration now for Darren Justice. He just cannot seem to find his way past Carl Douglas at the moment for 7th position. He's continuing to press hard. He's continuing to look for these opportunities. But there's only 2 laps to go at the end of this lap. And so far he just hasn't been able to make this move.
Yep, hasn't been able to stick it so far. Let me pop that off. Apologies, a part of my voice is much lower. You're welcome. Let's face it, Ewan's the commentary talent here. I'm just here to push the buttons. But yeah, hopefully, yeah, all basically every piece of software I used this morning decided to update, so everything is completely out the window. So yeah, hopefully you can still hear me at least a bit over the engines. We've got a fascinating battle here. David Webb just pops in. Casually just pops in another 204.9, only 6/10 quicker than anyone else out on track. We've almost forgotten that he's in the race, and he's on the penultimate lap, but there he is. What a lead he's got. We'll keep an eye on the battle between Douglas and Justice though, because there's still only 2/10 separating them as David Webb runs his way to what is surely going to be victory number 6 with only a lap or 2 to go. He's got a 4.5 second gap over Forgione. There's only a 10.5 separating these two. Time and time again into this braking zone. Can Justice get this done before the end of the race? If he does, it's going to take a Herculean effort, because Douglas might be slightly off the pace, but he's positioning that car absolutely perfectly, apex after apex, and that is holding him on to the position. But oh, I tell you what, Justice, he's gathering data on these last few laps, Ewan. He is potentially looking for chinks in the armour, and this turn number 5 definitely seems to be where he fancies his chances time and again.
But again, outside line, he's just not getting anywhere. He's got to try something different here, I think, Darren Justice. He's tried lap after lap after lap outside going into 5, and then he's gone for a late apex trying to cut back and then get to the inside in time for turn 6. I just don't think that's going to work. He's tried it the last 3 or 4 laps now in a row to a similarly a negative result as far as he's concerned, and now he's pushing over hard, and now he's gone wide through turn 8. Well, has that given away his last opportunity now? There's only a lap and a half to go. David Webb's about to receive the white flag, and you just wonder whether Justice has had his last opportunities now.
Yeah, that might have been his last chance for romance to get himself that 7th position. He has tried everything. He's thrown the kitchen sink at Douglas and hasn't managed to get his way past. Although look how much extra pace he's got. He is closing back in to within half a second. David Webb's just clocked another 204.8 again. What is that? 8/10 quicker than Max Forgione. Oh, and he's blinking again. We did see some unfortunate disconnects yesterday, of course. Lewis Buhagiar disconnected from the lead. He led for 148 laps yesterday. Disconnected on lap 149. The race completed on lap 150, and he was out of it. So yeah, hopefully we can see Patrick in the server right till the end. Everyone receiving the white flag in the Mercedes. Has he finally found this move on the start of the last lap, Ewan? He's going to send it massively deep. The Porsche has got no cutback option, so Douglas, we were saying his race was done for that position. He makes a mistake, but no. All that did was girdle his loins and give him fresh impetus to get the job done, and he has finally, on the start of the final lap, got the job done. Not too bad a showing. That's commitment.
Absolutely, and only half a lap apart from that mistake, running wide down here at turn 8 through the gravel a little bit over the grass, and half a lap later he was making the pass and getting into 7th position there, Darren Justice. So nicely done. Carl Douglas next in line. Ashton Cove and Tim Scully will complete their battle to the line as well, by the way. But out front, David Webb is leading this race by 5 seconds. It's not been the dominant performance we've seen from him in the past, it's fair to say. Max Forgione pushed him all the way through the first 12 laps when they were running nose to tail, but a mistake through the pit stop phase from Forgione effectively settled this battle a little bit earlier than we were expecting or hoping. David Webb is going to come through and take his 6th victory of the season. After just 8 rounds of this championship, he has taken it by the scruff of the neck, and he is almost there as far as the championship is concerned. He comes up towards the final TCR drivers now, and he's going to lap one of them to the line here as well. David Webb wins here again, this time at Road America in the Hybrid Simsport Road Series at the Tasman Racing League. This time by more than 5 seconds over Max Forgione, who finishes in second. And he stays in touch, does Forgione. He stays an outsider in this championship, but he does lose ground. Drew Collins the same as he rounds off the podium of this race.
Yes, indeed, Nicholas Heath was closing in massively there. We've still got a couple of close little battles going on here. Scully chasing down Adam Culp, but yeah, Collins did manage to hold on to third place, with Heath only half a second behind, so very close between those two as well. There is Justice Douglas across the line. Culp and Scully will follow, and Lewis Buhagiar trying himself a brand new discipline here at Tasman Racing League in the Hybrid Road Series. He's gone for a hybrid season. He started in the GT3s. He's racing today in the TCRs, and shock horror, he's gone on to win. So there we go, 27 seconds of a gap he's got over Damien Coates, who himself is 20 seconds up on Zach Liesta. So the TCR's getting themselves massively spread out this week, but it's going to be Buhagiar crossing the line. He's going to bring home another win here at Tasman Racing League, and this time it's going to be in the TCRs, with Terry Vizard, championship leader, down in 5th position. So yeah, Buhagiar shows up, Vizard ends up down at the back of the field, and Buhagiar brings home the win, massively ahead of Damien Coates. So another dominant Buhagiar display we've seen here today, Ewan, just this time in the TCRs.
Indeed, it's a change of category, as you say, but not a change in result for Lewis Buhagiar. Pretty remarkable. Also pretty remarkable, by the way. Just received a message that David Webb only got 1 incident point over the course of this race. Next fewest was Scully on 7. So that's pretty amazing, wow. Especially around here at Road America as well, where it is so difficult to avoid those off tracks. But there you are. There's Zach Vlietstra over the line. Actually gained some points on Terry Vista today, would you believe it? Starts the day around 50 behind, just over 50 behind. So he's got a long way to go there in the next 2 weeks. Road Atlanta and at Bathurst as well, but that's a nice start at least to get some points back there for Vlietstra. So there we are. That is your race then here at this round of the championship, the Hybrid Simsport Road Series, the Tasman Racing League. It's David Webb who takes the victory again. Max Forgione and Drew Collins stay in touch in the championship, but they're very much outsiders now with 2 rounds to go. Nicholas Heath displaced by Collins there towards the end, with Jeremy Newton rounding out the top 5. Greg Patrick 6th ahead of Darren Justice and Powell Douglas. They had that battle, of course, throughout. Aston Cove just beating Stephen Scully as well to round out the top 10. 11th for Declan Lunson, who would have been feeling that he could have done a bit better today if he'd have got that fueling right. Nicholas Crawford in 12th, ahead of John Bates in 13th, Daniel McMasters and Dale Horn rounding out the top 15. Ben Christian 16th, ahead of Joe De La Rosa, Brody Daff and Adam Culp, rounding out the GT3s. Lewis Buhagiar takes the victory in the TCR category here tonight, in front of Damien Coates and Zach Vlietstra also on the podium there. Dave Carney beat Terry Vistas, the line, Rob Tilley, Patrick Robinson all finished. Lucas Blake, the only driver to start and not finish here tonight. Well, that's the race results. Let's have a chat to some of these drivers, shall we? Start with David Webb, who's taken his 6th victory of this season. David, congratulations on that victory once again this time around. First things first, obviously you've taken the race victory tonight, but one of the impressive things that we were shown that you also managed to achieve is by far the least incident points of anybody, just the 1 over the course of the race. How difficult was that, and how much of a feature is that of your mind, just trying to keep things clean when you're out front as you were there in that race?
I know exactly where that 1X was as well. It was like a couple laps in, just on the first corner in turn 1. Just took a bit too much curb. But no, the whole intention tonight was just to go out and hit my marks, because I knew it was going to be a long race. Yeah, massive props to Max there. He put on a massive fight there. I think he must have missed a pit box or something in the pits. But yeah, no, congrats to Max and Drew for the podium there. And yeah, it was just a really good race. Just 100% pushed the whole way.
You've, as I say, taken your 6th victory of the season here tonight, and one step closer to a championship now. How much would you be, or how much do you want to sort of wrap that up before we get to the final round at Bathurst? Want to wrap that up next week at Road Atlanta, or would you say that it doesn't really matter and you'll take it whenever it comes at this stage?
Yeah, I think I just take it whenever it comes. I just take it race by race. If I start thinking about that too much, I get in my own head, and I'll do something stupid. I just got to do it race by race, and I think next week, at Road Atlanta or something, I'll just take it race by race.
All right, well, congratulations on race victory number 6 here of the season tonight, David, and thanks for chatting to us at the end as well.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks so much. David Webb winning here tonight by 5.5 seconds in front of Max Forgione, who also joins us now as well. Max, welcome in. Good to have you with us. And how frustrated are you that it couldn't have been more tonight? You were trailing David for the first 12 laps. You came in together and then came that pit stop. Just tell us how you're feeling at the end of this race.
Yeah, look, first off, congrats to David again. There's an awesome win streak he's got going. And Lewis, that's about the best debut you could have in TCR. But yeah, me, I don't know. I'm very happy with second, obviously, but there is definitely a bit of a bittersweet aftertaste there. And yes, I did just completely miss my pit box. So that's that.
I mean, It seemed to define this race, but I mean, you must have been pleased with the pace that you had otherwise, because you came out about 6.5 seconds back. As I've said, the gap in the end 5.3, so technically closing a little bit. Obviously, you can't. It's difficult to say what would have happened if you'd not made that mistake and you'd have been with each other for the end of that race. But how pleased were you with the pace that you had, nevertheless, around here at Road America tonight?
Oh yeah, very pleased, and consistency as well in the first stints particularly I was quite happy with. I'm very overall happy with where I'm heading right now.
Well, congratulations on second place in the race. Might have even moved you up towards second in the championship. We'll see about that, but thanks for chatting to us tonight, Max, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Max Forgione is second place in front of Drew Collins, who finishes in third place. Drew, welcome in as well. You held off Nicholas Heath there just towards the end to hang on to that podium. How was that battle there towards the end?
Yeah, I think if he'd had a couple more laps, he would have been a good chance. He was closing in. I just didn't really have any pace all race, really. So I was fortunate that I had enough of a gap after the pits to hold him at bay.
How difficult is that to deal with for a driver like you, who's in the top 3 in the point standings? You're sort of in and around the podium most weeks. How difficult is it to deal with a circuit that it seems that you're just not getting on with for whatever reason, or you haven't got the pace? How difficult is that to deal with?
You just got to do what you can. There's nothing you can really do in the moment because the race is already underway. So put your head down and try not to make any mistakes. I made sure I nailed my pit stop so I didn't lose any time there, and just did the best with what I had.
Congratulations on as I say, another podium here tonight, Drew, and thanks for chatting to us at the end of the race as well.
Thank you, and congratulations to David on another win, and to all the other podium sitters.
Well, thanks very much, Drew Collins, the final of the podium drivers in GT3. And now we go to TCR, where Lewis Bahadur has taken a race victory. Lewis, congratulations on the race win here tonight. Were you expecting to have such success in your first TCR race of the season?
Oh, I certainly like to think so. I race front-wheel drive cars in real life, so I was kind of hoping to be somewhere up the front, but Damo was just so fast, and it was really hard to catch him in the first stint. He was doing a great job. I think just the strategy helped me there.
What made you go down to the TCRs, by the way, as opposed to the GT3s, which you've been in up to this point this season?
Just something new challenge. I do really enjoy racing front-wheel drive cars. The championship, felt as though I was out of it and couldn't make the gap back, so decided to make the switch and have a bit of fun, and yeah, I absolutely loved today.
Well, congratulations on getting the win in the TCRs tonight, Lewis, and thanks for chatting to us as well at the end.
Thanks, mate, and big thanks to Hybrid Simsports.
Yeah, thanks very much, Lewis Bahadja, the winner in TCR tonight, in front of Damien Coates, who finishes in second place. Damien, welcome in as well. A very long pit stop for you on this occasion, which seemed to define the race. Just tell us what happened there throughout that period, and that first period of the race, really, when you and Lewis were pretty close together battling.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the pit stop took so long. I didn't have damage or anything like that. I only took 2 tyres, so I think I've lost out a bit on there. I think Lewis might have had the pace on me a little bit. He caught me up towards the end of that stint, but look, finishing second to Lewis is pretty good, to be honest. To be quickest of the regulars, I'm pretty happy with this week.
Exactly, quickest of the regulars you can absolutely take. I mean, how was this in terms of traffic for the TCRs tonight after what I thought was actually a very clean race at Le Mans? Back to a little bit of a smaller racetrack here, although still a decent size. How was it? Did you feel in traffic today?
Well, I took home a teammate last week, so anything better than that was a bonus for me. So, but no, it wasn't too bad. There was a few spots that were a bit hairy coming through the fast kink, but I'm kind of getting used to survival mode now, so I know where to move out of the way if I have to. So, I love this track. It's probably my favourite track after Bathurst. So, it's been a really fun track for the TCR.
Well, congratulations again, Damien, on the second place in TCR today, and thanks for chatting to us as well.
Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, thanks very much. Damien Coates, second place, and ahead of Zach Vlitzstrew, finishes in third place. Zach, welcome in as well. Third place for you, but not a race without incident in the end. Just tell us about the early apps of this race and your progression into third place tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's just racing, isn't it? We probably shouldn't have gone 3 wide through there. That could have been a bit of my fault, but yeah, I think Terry just missed his breaking point, he said in the comms. So yeah, took the 3 of us out. But other than that, pretty boring race for me. It was just a rolling chicane for the GT3s, I think. I didn't see a single other TCR the whole race, I'm pretty sure.
Well, no, it did feel like you had some pretty big gaps ahead and behind you towards the end there. But you do gain a few points on Terry Visser in this championship. I know the gap is fairly large, and there's still 2 weeks to go after this one. But it must be pleasing to get slightly closer to the top of the tree in TCR with that result tonight.
Yeah, a little silver lining at least, I guess. But yeah, it's I could have done without that crash at the start. But that is racing, so we'll go on next week.
Absolutely. We'll see you again at Road Atlanta in 1 week's time. Thanks for chatting to us, Zach, and congratulations on a podium as well.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks so much. Zach Vlitzstrew, the final of our podium drivers here tonight in TCR. And that's just about it from us here at Road America tonight. John, it was another good round of this championship. Close at the front, closer than what we've seen in some weeks previous, and always something to watch through the field, especially in GT3. I mean, even at the end there, as they came across the line, there were 3 nose-to-tail battles between a pair of drivers. So that's pretty good going, I think, over the course of an hour-long race.
Indeed it is, yeah, absolutely no complaints from the commentary box. I mean, certainly with the equipment, it is no secret that after stream I will be taking a hammer to most of the software and hardware that I use for the broadcast, as every piece of it threw me under the bus. But thankfully, the drivers put on an absolute show on track here again at Tasman Racing League, and as you say, nose-to-tail battles right the way through. But the real talking point has to be David Webb, 6 from 8, absolutely unstoppable up at the front. Max Forzione certainly put up a battle that I will be very keen to see continued, not only in the next 2 weeks but in the next season as well. But certainly Webb getting himself one hand on the trophy with 2 weeks left to go, and with Road Atlanta on the horizon, yeah, it's going to be an interesting 2 that we see starting with next week.
Yeah, indeed. 40 laps it will be at Road Atlanta. It's a real small circuit round there, so will be an interesting watch, absolutely, in the Hybrid Simsports Road Series once again. But that is just about it from us here tonight on TrackSpotTV. Make sure you join us again, same time, same place, for that race at Road Atlanta in 1 week's time. For now, I've been Ewan O'Leary alongside John Wright. Until we see you at Road Atlanta next week, it's goodbye for now.